Sorry, it wasn't nuts and bolts. It wasn't jetpack refueled. Didn't know that game existed until now. Viva Piñata was the last Rareware game that I was excited for. And looking forward at Sea of Thieves, looks like it'll remain that way for quite some time.
I know I've been sucking on Nintendo Power's teat for nostalgia content on this series, but that has run dry by now. The first shot I saw of Viva Piñata was on the internet. It was this one, and I said to a friend, that game looks insane. I even own a Platinum Hits copy, still in mint condition. I told you I wanted to do this retrospective for a long time, but alas, responsibility will fall on the Rare replay. Don't abandon this video after my next sentence. I didn't play this game for the review. I didn't even play 1 minute. Let me start at the beginning. The situation was similar to this. I was perusing through the Rare replay titles.
Ghoulies, Dark Zero, Viva Piñata.
Viva Piñata?
Sarah vividly remembers the commercial for Viva Piñata, but lacking an Xbox 360 herself, she instead bought Pocket Paradise for the Nintendo DS and apparently got pretty far in it. I believe Pocket Paradise is a play on words double meaning. Not just a pocket game, but a game in your pocket, like Pocket Pool. Get it? You know where you could have seen the commercial in great concentration? During the breaks of the Viva Piñata television show. Right, the Viva Piñata children's cartoon ran for 2 seasons on whatever network Wikipedia says. So, was this like a Hasbro situation, where the show was just a promotion for the product? Not entirely unheard of for Rare, even Donkey Kong Country had a show. I know this because I saw it with my own eyeballs on satellite television. I'm ultra hip. Wanna know why I'm stalling actually talking about Viva Piñata? Oh, you'll see. I took notes while Sarah played, and I'll be using her save file to record advanced footage. While I was expecting a wild adventure, this game begins by dumping you into a disparate garden. This weird chick hands your omnipotent perspective a shovel and insists that you clear the junk and pat down the soil. This will attract a worm into your garden. Oh, our first piñata, which is a conscious animal-like being. Having the worm will attract a spearmint, and planting grass will make the serpent show up, and the earliest form of a pattern appears. By now I see it's not an adventure game. We can't even directly control the piñatas. It's more like Pokemon, in which you passively collect Pokemon. Well, that's a bummer. At least the game looks nice. If you have any hope of getting any further in this game, you have to open up your journal. Each piñata that you attract to the garden has iterative stages: appear, visit, residence, variance, and romance. So I'm not really clear on what we're trying to do here, but let's clear some check marks. When you meet the requirements to get a piñata to appear, you'll then need to meet the requirements to get them to visit. This is sometimes the most stressful part of the game. I have everything you want, now get in here. You're killing me! But no, the piñata walks away. Try again tomorrow. Visiting is often the result of plants, which you have to fertilize and continually water. Some plants have to be near water, which you need to dig out a pond. If the plant is fruit-bearing, it is only good until it rots. If a piñata eats that, it'll become poison. Did I mention not all piñatas get along? Sometimes it's a requirement of residency, sometimes because the piñata's a bastard. Piñatas will kill and eat the other piñata's candy. The weird chick cheerfully explaining this process is probably the most sociopathic thing I've ever heard. Then the sour piñatas show up to wreck everything just to slow down your progress. This isn't Pokemon. You don't get to travel and find new challenges. Everything happens in this small microcosm of the world, so the game itself is its own worst enemy. This is a tycoon game. Romancing piñatas? Now, here is where you might crack a smile. Part of Viva Piñata is breeding the things. One grace it grants you is the omission of gender, so any like piñatas can romance. I'm suddenly reminded of my failings at the Chocobo stables in Final Fantasy VII. Had to get that golden Chocobo, but it wasn't happening. I remember getting so angry, I attempted to put my fist through my CRT television. No, I really wanted to reach inside and kill Chocobilly. I wanted to put the choke in Chocobo. I saw Sarah feeding the piñatas romance candy, and I was writing the joke, probably clams. Then I asked her, why are there romance requirements if you can circumvent the process with candy? She explained this only works after you've already met those requirements for a previous set, which is 2 dinner dates, 1 theater date, meeting the parents, expensive jewelry, and then a ceremony with all the relatives you're trying to avoid. If you are seriously going to breed your piñatas en masse, break out a GameFAQs walkthrough, because it's going to be a game of endurance. Every species of piñata has its own house that has to be bought and built. No exceptions. Then there are land requirements, plant requirements, food requirements, other piñata requirements. Would that be considered voyeurism? Get the 2 piñatas together, don't fail the minigame, and then watch the romance dance. I feel dirty. And then the variants. Yes, there is more to do. Most piñatas have alternate forms and can be achieved with more requirements. So do whatever required magic to get a variant. Don't forget there are 2 other forms. What is the point of a variant? Not really much. It does increase their resale value. Yeah, resale! What did you think, you'd have all the piñatas live in harmony? No, we have space limitations. Clear that shit out and grind through another species. Again, what are we trying to do? Just get credit for tricking these piñatas into our garden, engage in an arranged marriage, have children, change race, then sell, or kill them? This is not a tycoon game. It's a checklist. Sarah deserves a lot of credit as a gamer because she knows when to quit. She can tell when the rest of a game is devoid of fun and ends it right there. Because, well, why bother? As a married couple, we don't agree on much. But when it comes to Phantom Hourglass, neither of us are going to play that last dungeon again. She completed all the requirements for about 30 piñatas, got bored, and then decided to go back to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It was I who insisted, let's keep going. Don't you want a Horstachio? A Rorio? A Fizzly Bear? Maybe we could get a Dragon Egg? Bottom line, I had to bribe her with foot rubs to get her back in. I couldn't do it. I had no idea how she even got this far. Days later, we finished it. Every plant, every piñata was completely marked. And here's the grand finale. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Along the way, we kept hearing,
"Your gardening is improving."
okay, to what end? Perplexed, we turned to achievement hunting, which by now we had 46 out of the 50 total. The last 4 took about half an hour. And aside from these interchangeable pre-renders, the result was nothing to show for it. Could there at least have been a conclusion to the depressing story of a broken family? Again, what are we doing here? If there is nothing behind the checklist, it's a checklist for the sake of a checklist. You completed the checklist just to say you completed a checklist, so it's not a checklist. It's a
giant turd.
God, it was hard enough just getting the piñatas in the garden after we met all the requirements. Envisioning the state machine for this game is just mind-rending. Along with a number of questionable design decisions. Like, you put up these tiki torches to attract the moth drops. This also means any flying piñatas can pass by and catch on fire. And this regularly happens. Why is this a feature? Sarah had an answer. If you direct a taffly to the flame and then put it out with your watering can, the taffly changes into a red hot. What? That's beyond stupid. This game is insane.
Damn. I guess I was right all along.
I wasted 80 hours of my life, gonna set this game on fire. Got a whole lot of piñatas ignoring my garden, so this walkthrough is a lie. There's 1,000 secret variants waiting to find, and I don't care, just pay it no mind. And this giant turd is a one of a kind. Viva Piñata. Value is nada. Big piece of caca. Keep stomping on my Xbox One.